Good morning from Calgary, Canada, as we take a look at downtown. Beautiful sunny day here today as we bring you to Canada's Olympic Park. And we're going to bring you inside Winsport Arena today for the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. It's been a beautiful facility here for this bubble situation and the 7th and final event of this bubble in Calgary. And our feature matchup today, China versus Denmark. Session 4, the start of day number 2 here at the World Women's Curling Championship. Let's take a look at our teams. Lead for China, Zhiyang Xindi. Second, Zhang Lijun. Third, Dong Jiqi. And skip Han Yu. And their opposition today, Denmark, Lena Klitzen, Denise Dupont at second. Third is Mathilde Halse and the skip, Madeline Dupont. And these are the current standings after day 1. RCF, Scotland, Switzerland, all with 2-0 records. China, Sweden, 1-0. Canada, Czech, Germany, Japan split their day yesterday. And Denmark, Estonia, Italy, Korea, United States all looking for their first wins today on day 2. Here is all the games during this session today. Over on sheet A, Sweden versus Estonia. Our feature game on sheet B, China, Denmark. Sheet C, United States and Korea, both looking for their first win. And sheet D, Scotland versus Germany. I'm Jill Officer, and I'm joined by Olympic silver medalist Mike Harris to give you the call on this game today. Mike, you know this Chinese team fairly well.
I do. Spent a year working with all 4 of these young women. Excellent players, and they came off a very solid performance in their first game. Took on Estonia, won that game fairly handily. So looking to see their progress. It's been a while since I worked with them, so looking forward to watching them in person for the first time in about 18 months. But we've got a good matchup here, veteran skip in Team Denmark, and I know you know this team quite well. Yes,
played a number of times against Madeline and her sister Denise at second. Very good shooters. They've been to the Olympics a couple of times, and they've been around the game for a long time, and they'll be tough.
Yeah, they played, we covered their first game yesterday, Joan McCusker and I, and their third struggled a little bit, so they're going to need a better performance from Mathilde Halse at third if they want to win this one, but should be a good matchup. Looking forward to it. Team's just wrapping up the last stone draw challenge for Last Rock, and Denmark has won that, so they will have the hammer here in end number 1. So Jill, in the 6 World Championships that you played in, what if you had coming off a win into day 2? That's obviously an easier battle than maybe Denmark might have trying to regroup here for day 2. What advice would you give to the Danish team?
Well, it's early in the week, and it's a long week, extra long week this year with the addition of an extra team. And I think it's just you got to put those games behind you pretty quickly sometimes and take one game at a time.
So there's skip Madeline Dupont, and she's, as I said, veteran skip, curled in Vancouver, threw one of the all-time great shots I can ever remember watching against Cheryl Bernard in the last end with a raucous crowd. Made a beautiful shot to send the game to an extra end, and also knocked off Team Canada in Pyeongchang as well. So a very capable opponent certainly here for Team China.
Yes, very good Madeline. Well, her and Denise, like I said, have been around for a long time, played against them a number of times, and they're both really good shooters. So first stone there by Jiang goes a little deep. And 35-year-old Lena Knudsen is going to simply try to remove.
Been in touch with a few of the Chinese athletes over the last 12 to 18 months, knowing they were like the rest of the world in quarantine for the most part, and there's a hotel right across the street from the curling venue in at their national training center. You were there for the World Cup, Jill.
I was, yes.
And their travels were limited from the hotel to the rink on a daily basis. So,
but they've been on the ice all year?
They have been on the ice all year, yes. So they've not had to stop their training, but they were basically in their own bubble. All the athletes, a number of athletes stay in that same facility, the figure skating team and the curlers. Two different arenas accessible to only the athletes and coaches. So with the rollout, Denmark take a little more aggressive stance, threw up the corner guard.
As we take a look at Zhang Lijun, 24-year-old, young team. Their jobs are being athletes.
Yes, full time. I said, nice, really nice group of young women. One of the kind of quirks of the names. You know, we talk about it a bit, but they all like having English names. So Zhang Lijun, she goes by Yo-Yo. So Yo-Yo, she's an excellent player at second.
How did they come up with these names?
They come up with them themselves.
Yeah,
and So we've got Cindy at lead and Yo-Yo at second and Daisy at third. So. But as you say, really young, and there wouldn't be a team here that's thrown more rocks than these four women.
Denise DuPont with her first here in the first end.
Just over-curled a little bit into the port. Chance for the hit.
Yeah, we saw some really nice movement in the ice yesterday, especially across that middle path. Not hard to over-curl in that center line area.
Yeah, a ton of movement. Nice touch. Rolled about half buried. Certainly accessible, as you say, with this amount of movement. Doing a good job holding this straight. Looked like a little bit of a soft release there from Denise, but well swept. Just by the guard. No worries at all. Might force the might force the other turn, but I'll have to throw this a little harder. Keep it straight.
Chinese third, Dong Jiqi. Trying to carve that and make it curl, but they'll just stick on the guard, and opportunity here for Denmark to sit 2.
And Donji, she only 22 years old and been with the program for a number of years already. Skipped to a bronze medal at the World Junior Championships 2018.
Mathilde Halsa is the youngest member of the Danish team at 21. And they just get it in.
Some great sweeping there.
Just to review our rules of play, teams are required to play a minimum of 6 ends. Each team has 38 minutes of thinking time and are allowed 1 60-second timeout.
Not bad. Good news for China is that if this hit is made, there will be a double available. Trying to group those stones. Got to go to get by here.
Denise is really working this, but you can see it just gravitating toward that center line, and they will touch the guard.
And you would know that in years of playing front end, Jill, anything near the center line, the first end or two, there's a ton of fresh pebble, and once it starts to go, it's hard to save.
Especially in a lighter weight, because even in the first end or two down that center line path, even if you're playing a peel or a run back, you get a little more movement than usual.
Jeg hørte, du spurgte om langtiden på den der. Den er 14,5 præcis. Så den er sådan lige det sløve. Altså ikke den der sten, men ud mod kanten. Ja, jeg sagde, jeg skal nok spille 15, måske lidt hurtigere, og så fik den 10.
My Danish isn't very good, but I think that's exactly what they were talking about.
Yes. Now an opportunity here for Chinese skip Han Yu, 20-year-old, to hit to sit 2.
Interesting little idiosyncrasy with her delivery. Saw her look down just as she let the rock go.
I noticed that. I've seen the odd player do that.
But said worked with her at the World Juniors a couple of years ago in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. They went 8-1 in the round robin, and it was, I can tell you, was 95% of it was due to Han Yu. She was just incredible the entire week. Ended up losing the bronze medal game to Switzerland that week, but just a phenomenal player. Spoke with Pea Lindholm a little bit about her, and he said, you know, she reminds him a little bit of Eve Muirhead and Anna Hasselborg, you know, as when they were very young curlers, and so that's pretty high praise from Pea, and I would agree. She's just she was just a star at those World Juniors. Well, it'll be interesting to watch her over the next few years, see if she becomes a world-class player at the women's level.
33-year-old Madeline Dupont, two-time Olympian.
Look at this roll. Will she get it underneath? Almost. Heck of a try. Almost. Double was pretty tough there. Certainly couldn't make the double without saving your shooter, that's for sure. So, chance to get the force here if Team China can hit and stay.
Final stone here for Hanyu. A little wobble out of the half.
Needs to curl a bit to stay.
And that will roll out, which means Denmark will have an opportunity to blank this first end. You see she comes out with a bit of a speed wobble. Sometimes throws you offline.
Well, especially if you're not looking at the broom as you let the rock go. So you need to make sure you're sliding directly at the brush as you're coming out. So if you do have that wobble, it'll certainly would affect her timing. Unusual, as you say. There's been a few good players over the years, but DuPont looking for the blank.
Trying to hold this one straight for the rollout, and they will nose it. So that will be a single point for Denmark here in the first end. So they take the lead 1-0 after one.
Det er fint alternativ. Altså hellere det end komme til at helt sikkert. Trække sig ting og sager.
Welcome back here to the LGT World Women's Curling Championship from Calgary, Canada. So we get the second end underway here between Denmark and China. Denmark with a single in the first end.
Yeah, the accidental single, always hated that as a skip. Trying for the blank and take one.
See one of the Chinese players following this rock down. Sometimes you'll see sweepers, especially early in the game, follow rocks down to get a sense for how it's traveling down the sheet, so that when they throw, they have a better sense of how it's going to travel, or if it's going to come down, or if it's going to slide. China puts up the corner guard as we take a first look at an update here. Sweden and Estonia. Sweden with the last stone advantage here in the first end. It looks like a draw to the side of the button, Mike.
Yeah, no lack of stones in play there on sheet A. So Anna Hasselborg with the hammer. Looking for, looks like a tough draw for two. And line's good.
See, it's starting to move now. Sweeper's trying to get it there. And I think it just died on them a little bit as it started to take the curl. And it'll only be a single for Sweden. Take a 1-0 lead after one. Looked like it just sort of came off with that curl, Mike, and they missed the...
Misjudged it a little.
Misjudged it, yeah.
Oh, back in our sheet. Corner guard followed by a center guard. So we'll have a couple rocks in play here, and then number 2. Trying to keep it straight. Well done.
Yeah, nice sweeping there, and a little flop behind the center guard.
Two sisters having played together so long, I think Madeline almost yelled hurry as Denise was sliding out. You've seen that before, I'm sure, Jill.
Yes, I've heard it before.
Hard as they're sliding. It's always...
it's not a good sign,
no,
really. No. Same with when your sweepers are telling you to
give you more weight.
give you more weight in the middle of your slide.
Playing the run back.
Oh, and they will dead jam it.
One of those ones that if you try to do that, it's difficult to make, but you hate doing that with your opponent's stone.
So Denmark will attempt to come around everything here.
God retning. 6, 7. Okay, vi skal ned i 8 hals. 7.
Vi kører samme sted.
Så skal den af. 6, 5. Okay, hvis den kun er 5, skal I stoppe. 6. Den skal forbi den anden så. Forbi den anden. Yes, linjen er perfekt. Rigtig god retning. Rigtig god retning.
Line sounds perfect, but it's not quite enough weight, and it'll curl a little too much.
Kom igen. Godt set med det. Godt set. Rigtig gode fartmeldinger.
Another foot of weight, they probably get that by.
Zhang Lijun will try to make this exact same shot she just threw. Not bad. Force Denmark to deal with that stone and open up the scoring area a little bit for Team China.
Du kan ikke lide den indenfra. Kan lide den indenfra. Den sidder ikke særlig fint herover indenfra. Det er lidt en skidt vinkel. Okay. Men lige på er et rigtig godt alternativ.
Take a look at Heather Rogers, actually from here in Alberta, Canadian that has joined this Denmark team this year.
Yeah, short trip for her to get here into the bubble. Started working with this team this year.
Trying to make that curl. And they'll just hit it on the nose.
Marco needs to look up. Marco Mariani, who's the team coach here for this Chinese women's team.
And the national coach is Pia Lindholm, who many know as the former world champion and national coach from Sweden, who's now been with China for 2 or 3 years.
A little over a year and a half. It seems like there's Pia, but seems like longer. He joined them kind of late 2018, 2019. So, but didn't get much of a season in, unfortunately, like the rest of the world. Talked a little bit about this with the men's program as well, but you know, this young team from China really focusing on Beijing in about 9.5 months for the Olympics. So they, the hope was to get this team a lot of big game experience, and you know, this pandemic really would have hurt them more than many of the other teams who were more experienced. But the good news for them is they already have a berth in those Olympic Games as the host nation, so a little less pressure here than there would have been for many of the other teams here.
Yes, and as a reminder, this is an Olympic qualification event. The top 6 nations here will qualify their member association for the Beijing Games next year. So we'll roll out there, and China will try to come around this center guard.
A very aggressive play here. Could hit and roll under as well, but definitely trying to score here in the even ends. Sweepers on this right away.
Well, it's a line, so they must feel that it's a little light. It's starting to move. See the thrower come in to get on the other side and help that angle to try to make it curl, and it really did. Curl almost pokes out the other side a little bit, but I don't think they got shot rock.
Dong Jiki can't help herself. She's a sweeper at heart. Has played second on this team for a number of years, so the switch for her to throw third stones, this is fairly recent. It was Zhang Lijun who was playing third.
You see it really move across that, as we've said before, it really moves across the middle.
Yellow still shot stone, so bit of work to do for China to make that draw count for the second point. No doubt this will curl enough.
就到中线这附近，然后就开始掉，就那个弧这边吧，贴上中线，然后就开始掉了。齐杰刚才打那个也是，这个还是会掉的稍微快一点。你还给spillet dragen og så. Ja.
First skip stone here. Madeline DuPont. The sweepers are on this one too.
Not heavy. They like the line, but they need to get by this red.
Oh, and they do, and this is going to be a great shot.
Wonderful shot. Thank your sweepers.
Yeah, they pretty much went end to end on that one.
This just curls sideways in here. Great result. That is lost.
Mm-hmm.
Corner freeze. This is a tough shot. Need to get hard to get shot stone and not be accessible for Team Denmark. Not sure what else I like here. You could play the double run back, I guess. Pressure draw here for on you.
6区就行，没太给力量。下路 OK。5区的5、6。6区可以等等线，下路偏外侧。一点的力量。啊，下路偏外侧等等线。啊，可以擦一点。减速了，下路后面。
It's really moving now.
下路后面，擦线路。提进，hurry。再站好球。
Nice shot.
Really nice. I don't know what Denmark can do except guard, perhaps.
As they are deciding, we will take a look over next door on Sheet C, United States and Korea here in the second end. And Korea with last stone facing 3, it looks like, Mike.
Yes, Hyunjin Kim had a fairly easy nose hit on her first one and actually missed very badly. Took out 2 of her own stones. And then Tabitha Peterson put a perfect draw into the top of the 8-foot here. This is requiring a double.
I was going to say this looks tight, and and jams on the back, and that'll be a big steal of 3 for the United States in the second end.
She missed her first hit the same way, got it curling early, and that is not the way Team Korea envisioned starting this game with Last Rock. Came off that tough loss last night to Kovaleva. Gave up 3 in the 10th. Looks like Denmark is playing the corner freeze on that red. Concerned about the type of angle raise that China might be able to make for a couple of. Just can't afford to miss this heavy. Trying to protect on that from that easy hack weight tap for 2 up the middle. Good result. China was looking at coming in off that yellow on the left, or they got 2 options here, I suppose. Don't think there's much risk here of giving up more than 1 if you're playing the red, and you could get your 2. Try to hit what you can see of the red. The trick's going to be throwing it hard enough to get rid of the back yellow without getting rid of your top red. So I would say it's fairly easy for 1, but very difficult for 2. I don't think you can see enough of that to hit it on the nose and get rid of both reds, so a safe call, but difficult.
Last stone here in the second end for Hanyu. She looks to make a tap for 2 here. Trying to get some final curl out of it, and it won't come up enough, and that will be a steal of 1 for Denmark, and they'll take a 2-0 lead after 2 ends here.
Jeg kunne bedst lide det første. Okay. Okay, men det kunne godt være nogle gange, så er I sådan, okay, det der release var bedre, eller et eller andet, ikke?
Det var fordi hun startede.
Yep.
We are back here at the Winsport Arena in Calgary, Alberta, Canada for the LGT World Women's Curling Championship. Our feature game here between Denmark and China, and Denmark just stole a single and now lead 2-0. Playing 3, China will have last stone.
Okay. Godt set. Godt. Synes jeg undervurderet.
还是15秒5。线路 OK。1、2。3区要擦一擦。2、3。3区3区。正常擦，开始掉了。
Corner guard here from,
1。
I want to call her Cindy, but Jiang Shindi.
17秒。OK。
I'm sure they will continue with their aggressive play
没事。
here in end number 3.
他这样一个分一个。手回去。Go。
De har en del plads lige nu. 3. Vi bliver nødt til at have Mathilde ind. 2. Yes. 2. Rigtig meget på linjen.
So getting Matilda to sweep on the inside, trying to get some finish here, especially because it looks a little bit light. They want to
Lige med kassetterlejen. Sådan.
make it curl from that side, try to finish it.
En lille smule mere fart i nummer 2. Det kan være, det er stenen, men den er lidt kort hver
A bit
gang.
longer than they would have liked.
Definitely.
第一区啊。这样吧，这样。好，行。12秒5。好。可控是吧？啊，对，这是滑的线，就正常的那个滑速度，力量就行。
Can play the tick shot
贴13秒。
and could easily
擦一下 Harry。
chase around that high guard.
Harry， 力量小。Harry， 全力来 Harry。
This is really moving, and they'll hit it a little thicker than
OK， 好球。13
they
秒
would
5。
like.
可以。啊。
Not bad, didn't bump it in the rings anyway, and now they've got that double corner.
4-3. 还行呢。
Weight was good. That helped a lot. But they're going to have a bit of work to do up the middle here now if a decent guard is made by Denise Dupont.
Go. 3. Hertil, linjerne går. 4, 3.
And Denise will be looking to just to bury an inch or so around that red.
3, faktisk helst dø. 3, 2. Det er godt. Der er intet plads, faktisk.
Might over curl here, actually.
Sorry.
It did.
Okay, kom igen,
Yeah,
Denise.
we've seen that a lot in the, especially in that middle around that center line spot.
好，11秒5。这边会偏直一点。
Trying to get near the nose. You could also roll behind the corner guards pretty easily.
啊，悠悠打甩吧。
There you
因为
go.
站位高。11秒。
She heard you.
That's a much easier shot than trying to get to the nose.
OK， 打甩。
Say that a lot. If you're skipping, keep your shots as easy as you can and make the opponent's shots difficult is ideal.
10秒7，克林，10秒7 ，10秒7，哇，克林，哇
Gotta go to get by. It's very tight.
Oh, they just get it by, and they did get to the nose.
Almost accidentally, but
Nice sweeping there to keep that
有点掉，但是
from hitting the
偏
guard.
直的那种，还挺有表现的，我感觉。点就给我正常10秒的那个之前的那个点，然后
just
Yes.
wrapped it around.
Hele vejen på linjen. Tina. Lina.
Trying to make a curl now. Just a little different weight there from
这边，咱们直接
Denise
往中间
kept
线
it a touch straighter.
投一个吧。
Well, chance now for Team China to use those corner guards.
感觉得13秒8。
6 feet of ice they're taking. Terrific movement.
线路 OK 啊。6，给警告 ，Cindy 看力量。线路 OK， 开始掉线了。挺线的 ，Cindy 擦一下线路。Hurry，Cindy，再擦一下
Look at it go now. Wow.
They're not even going to get by here. It's a little light too. But yeah, it really comes off that center line.
Yeah, I think if the weight was there, they probably could have got it by. But
For sure. Now a chance here for Denmark to make a good one, put some pressure on China.
Har vi ikke set flest herovre? 6-7. Ja.
I thought they might have taken the other turn here, Mike. Maybe they don't know it as well or can't take enough ice.
they've definitely played this one enough, yeah. And the other part of it too, as we've mentioned, like if you're going to miss, tendency is to over curl. At least if this one over curls, it goes to the open side and no hit and roll behind the corner guard for.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But this is a good result right at the top of the 8 foot. But
Yeah, and it did come out the other side.
Right. Yeah, imagine if that was half open on the other side, there would be a double available for China.
Yeah.
够打甩吗？可能小点力量。12秒，12秒。先往外甩吧，琪琪。行，咱还能学。打定就好，打定就行，不用往里甩。11秒，11秒。
So get the weight right, and somewhere near the nose would be an excellent shot. China would love to roll an inch or two buried.
11秒23，擦一擦，力量偏小。11秒5。
Sweepers on this one right away.
11秒23，可林。11秒23，我。11秒23，我。11秒23，等我下线。
It's close.
下线，再下。
And they get to the nose.
Yeah, nice throw.
不是，他刚才打哪个？打那个甩到那边去了。这多大？11秒5。
Hak, tror jeg. Ja. Hak, ja. 12,5, ikke? Jo.
Hack weight. Try to follow that down.
These in-betweeners were the ones that Matilda struggled with in the first game.
På linjen! Yes, på linjen! Hold den, Lina! Yes, hold den! Du har
Lena
den!
Knudsen working hard and just, I was going to say, just underthrows those. Tends to. Like, this isn't even going to get through the ring, so that's a little light for hack weight.
Rigtig god fart, Mathilde. Ja, det gør
So, opportunity now for China.
det. Er så perfekt her. 12,5.
Hard part's figuring out how to get there. I guess the outturn is the easier way.
Men den kommer ikke så langt, hva'? På 12,5.
行，这边够掉。
行，这边够掉，你这边不行。因为它全都是
The way it moves in this spot, they can easily bury behind that one in the top 8 foot and still be above the tee line.
还是6区啊？好。可以给一点点。顶点现代。45。擦一擦，偏小。45。45这儿也行。
Needs to get a piece of the 8 foot to lie too.
沙子位置，线路特别好。OK， 力量够了就等这个位置了。小一点儿，还行，线路特别好，可以擦，可以下线。
This is going to over curl, so they're just going to sweep it up to the corner.
好，挺
Not bad. No double there, so
呀，到起，到了好了。
it's a pretty good result, actually. Just
Ja, og
tough decision now for Team Denmark. They could hit the red on the right-hand side, but certainly would leave China shot stone.
Ruller den der, altså bare så den lige bliver snittet ind, men altså, lad os gå efter lige på her.
Ja, 11.
Yes, der.
11. Ja.
Try to hit near nose somewhere. Good play. They'll be able to do something with that stone on their next one.
Det var ærgerligt, hun lige fik klikket den. Det havde været rart, hvis den lige var kommet rundt om.
It will curl if you don't throw it hard enough. We saw that already with from Matilda's last stone.
这头站这楼上。
Get a good
Wow,
good
11.
view of what
Yep.
Madeline is looking
11.
at.
Yep. Yep.
You see it moving already.
Yes, du har det
A go to get this by. And it just over curls, so it catches that top one first and splits them apart in the house. That was not a great result.
And if it gets by and hits just the one stone, it definitely would have removed it. So it's a bit of an unlucky break for Team Denmark. And a great opportunity now for Team China to put one almost in the exact same spot would be pretty nice. Try to guard at least half of that red on the left-hand side. Force Denmark into a similar type of shot. Top 8 foot. Just coming open would be ideal on the left side as we're looking at it. Line's good. Line looks great if they can get it to just to the top of the 8 foot. That is ideal. Could not have placed it any better. So this will force a freeze from Denmark. It's going to be hard to get this into a spot where China can't get at it. You see Madeline saying, well, for here, she's going to have this little angle raise. What a perfect draw from Han Yu.
Nej, giv noget mere, faktisk. Ja, sådan. 7. Alternativet er lidt længere.
We'll head next door to update between the United States and Korea. United States stealing 3 in the second end here in the third. Korea again with the last stone. And it looks maybe like a double for potentially a couple, Mike.
Yeah, they're playing a double. I couldn't tell if those top 2 stones were in the rings. And they are. And one for sure. And it looks like that red up at the top is second shot. It is. They kick them off. Only one for Korea.
The last stone here for Denmark, needing a really good come around here to prevent China from scoring a bundle.
The line is tight and it is not heavy. This is quite short, and this will leave a free draw for 4 now for China. So 2 bad misses there from Madeline Dupont. The only danger here is, again, just throwing a little soft and have it curl. So make sure you get out to the broom on this one.
Last stone, third end. Han Yu looking for a big score of 4 here. Already guaranteed 3.
Sweepers on this right away.
Line looks good, lots of room.
No problem.
And that will be a big score of 4 for China. They will go up 4-2 after 3 ends of play.
点要14秒23。行，OK， 可以了。
Welcome back here to the LGT World Women's Curling Championship, and China with a big score of 4 in the third end. Take 4-2 lead over Denmark here in our feature game. Denmark will now have last stone. China sweeping this one, trying to make sure that they get it in. They don't really need a guard in play right now. And they'll just get it there.
Det var her, vi havde en på 15-6, der kørte helt ned 4. Ja, okay. Det er det rigtigt. Kort på linjen, Denise! 2! Du har intet plads! 2!
Denmark putting up the corner guard, needing to generate some offense, some points here.
Okay, kom igen, Lina. Ja, sorry. Okay. Kom igen. Godt set, Maddie.
A little higher than they would like, especially with the movement we're seeing in this ice with these rocks. They need their guards a little bit tighter. It's easier to follow behind and chase rocks that are behind these higher guards on this ice. Trying to come around this one in the top 12 foot.
They definitely have a game plan. 2 up. Don't throw any rocks that will help your opponents, which is, especially when the guard goes that wide. Tough.
And long.
Yeah. Tough to use that one effectively.
Er det 8? Er det T-line? Ja.
I'm going to try to get around it, however.
Go! På linjen! 6-7! Du har ikke noget plads, Denise. Det er hele vejen. Yes. Den ser kort ud. Ja,
Update next door in Chile, Sweden, Estonia. Been a bit of a battle here already.
What a mess.
And Estonia here with last stone, maybe trying to hit in the pocket or something there, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know. That red one on the button looks like it's not going anywhere. You'll have to just miss that red at the top of the rings to maybe have a chance to get it out.
Estonia skip, Marie Turman with a big push. Trying to get some speed and get some stuff moving.
It's in the ballpark. Wow, even at that speed, couldn't get it out.
And that is a steal of 1 for Sweden, and they'll take a 2-0 lead after 3.
Need to stick a dynamite for that one. No chance.
And over on sheet D, Scotland, Germany in a tie game. Germany with last stone here in 3. Looking like maybe a tap for 2.
Yeah, a little hack waiter for 2. Daniela Jensch with her final stone. And well documented, this team playing with 3.
This one just hanging out there in the sweeping to make it curl doesn't do anything, and that's a steal of 1 for Scotland. They'll go up 3-2 after 3.
Okay, godt set, Mette. Godt set, Mette.
刚才那是1、2区之间。好。偏1多一点那个。的体多加085。
Jean Lejeune had a solid day 1, 86%. With that center guard protecting the stone at the top of the 12 foot. Don't mind this call. 2 up. Beautiful draw. Wow.
13.7， 减速了。
Just a ton of curl here today. Dead buried, top of the button, around a stone at the top 12-foot. Impressive.
Heel. Whoa. Whoa. Yep.
Looking for a nose hit. Close. Oh, what a great effort.
Just feathers the one in the house, but gets that one at the top of the 12-foot.
They're in pretty good shape here, actually. Denmark is. A lot of pressure on Team China to place their stones properly here the next 2 or 3 rocks. Those 2 yellows on the wings cannot really be hit. Watch this, close to the double. Actually graze the stone on the button. So a bit of work to do now for China to not give a big end right back here.
一定4区，一定4区，能到线路可以的，可以下线，兄弟，小，下线，还得下线啊，下到底，全力下线，下到底，给我自己来，好，再来，好，起去，go，再来，再来，进，别赢了，比那个进。
As I watch Dongji keep coming in to sweep her own stones, I'm wondering what Peja and Marco are thinking there behind the scoreboard. As I said, she's a front ender at heart and can't help herself. She just loves to sweep, and she's a good sweeper too. But I know as we're coaching a lot of young teams, we always tell them not to sweep your own stones. Let the sweepers do the work. Quite often you do more harm than good coming in late.
I know. Watching them do it, I feel as a sweeper, I feel like I want to push them out of the way.
Get out of my way.
Get out of my way.
Yeah.
I feel like it would actually, it could cause a distraction to the sweepers.
Of course, it happens all the time. We see stones get burnt more often than not.
Maybe she should play mixed doubles.
Well, she'd be good at that, wouldn't
Yeah,
she? Yeah,
get up
sure.
and sweep.
线路 OK， 这线路偏小，偏1啊，先走，带着点，线路 OK， 擦，刷对着，可以擦一擦，一区可以擦，正常就行。我克林偏线了，我2、3，等一等，我。
Keep a rock on the piece of the center line here.
Yeah, it's not easy to throw guards in this middle spot here on this ice.
Double there is available now. Chance you could actually roll your shooter in on the left-hand side to lie 3. So that was what we were speaking about earlier, where there's a lot of pressure when there's a couple of biters hanging around to make sure you are precise with your rock placement. Close. How's that?
Does it
They
get
miss-
out? Oh, not quite. It sticks for,
Miss the sweeping,
yeah, sticks for shot back there.
and that is buried behind 4 yellows. There's no way to get at that one. So.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Denmark.
But we'll say now what we said last end for
队伍这儿就行，咱们那个
Team China. If they come too deep, it's going to come into the open and leave a double for Denmark.
6区太小，这个
They might be wise to play the intern on the left-hand side through that port.
It's almost to over curl it and be on the center line side, if
Right.
anything.
It's going to be really hard to get this buried and not be open on the left-hand side.
4秒。05都行。OK。05可以给一点。给的不是很多。
So Hanyu 88 in her first game.
线路没问题。3、5之间。2区也就这儿也行。够了。比他近就行。够了。5区不擦了，线路小。有点大偏6。线路
It's by the top, but this is going to come way open.
等。
Just need to keep it high enough in the house where there's no easy double.
可以可以。
哎呀，
I don't think it's an easy double.
It's not.
Nej, nej. Går hun ikke rundt, hvis vi gør sådan? Jo, men det er svært at lave et godt indlæg her, der ikke kan tages ud. Det er rigtigt, ja. Hun skal så tæt forbi den der nærmest også,
Ja,
når
præcis.
man går rundt.
Altså, hvis hun ligger perfekt her, vi kan stadig banke den ud med en hakpart.
Ja.
Men her, altså, der får hun den ikke ud.
Nej, og det er næsten sværere, hvis vi, altså vi gør næste skud sværere for os selv, hvis vi gør sådan.
Ja, det er rigtigt. Ja,
Er det
for så har hun
rigtigt?
2 at gå rundt om.
Ja, ja.
Men lad os spille den der vej. Men
Hvad
10,
fart? Ja, 10.
er det for meget?
Just trying to figure out where to roll to.
Eller lidt
Either
mere.
is good. I think if I was Denmark, I would roll to the right. Try to get behind those corner guards. We just saw the difficulty for China. There's nowhere for them to hide, really, with that guard being so high.
Ja, ja.
I agree. If they roll behind the center, it's too easy for China to get at.
Ja, ja.
Fairly low numbers for Madeline, who is often such a good shooter. She'll want to bring that up today.
She was in a lot of trouble, I can say, yesterday
That's
when
true.
she came to throw her last rocks. So you saw Matilda's numbers also in the 50s. So
Godt farvet, Lina.
tough day
Lad os se.
yesterday, but as you said, day one.
打的。
China's got to be careful here not to roll to the outside, not to roll to the left. There'll be a double for 4 available. So a nose hit would be fine.
就是正常的那个滑
But
动。
if you roll to where
这边
the broom is being held right now, DuPont would certainly have a double for 4, and she'd certainly try it.
稍收一点。
A nose hit or roll to the center line area would be fine.
10秒5。哇，等一等。12度。12度。等一等。
Calling the weight a little up, which means it's going to run a little straighter. So
打水。OK。
and it does roll to the side, Mike.
And there is definitely a double available, and definitely worth trying.
Yes.
Den hele? Ja, ja, ja. Helt sikkert. Det bliver vi nødt til at gøre, vi ikke?
Just a little extra weight on that one and
Og alternativet er vel næsten bare
hit it
at
on the
gøre
high side.
Jo, hvis vi rammer den lige på, så får de en.
Ja.
Det er noget.
Det er noget
Juks.
pis. Vi skal være
Men
bred,
altså,
hvis vi
det er
skal.
mulighed for 4, det er ikke så, vi får den igen.
Don't get many chances for 4. I think they have to take this on.
Altså, du
I
vil gerne
agree.
have den,
Just trying to figure out which turn to throw.
eller vil du gerne have den der?
Der.
Okay.
Jeg tror ikke, den anden kan lade sig gøre.
Nej, det tror jeg
Jeg
egentlig
tror,
heller
den
ikke.
sidder i den der.
Vil du spille den 9?
Ja.
Ved vi, hvor meget den køler her?
Jeg tror, den køler meget. Ja, lige præcis. Lige præcis. Jeg tror, vi skal have mere.
They know where to hit
Fordi
it.
der er en tolerance, der er den vej.
Jeg synes bare, hun har været lidt blød på
This
siden
will definitely
derudad.
curl.
I hvert fald.
Ja,
She'll need to throw some weight at
ja,
this
det kan jeg godt lide.
with that amount of ice.
Det er selvfølgelig risky, men jeg tror ikke, vi får chancen for 4 igen.
放在这小瓜瘤里面，
I heard
打定吧，这边电线大。
I didn't learn any Chinese when I was over there, so I'm not sure what they're saying back there. Chance for 4 here. She's on her way.
我的好。
Wow, ren!
Move off this line.
Got to be close.
Plays
Sure.
it across the top of the back one, and that will be
Rigtig godt set.
a score of 4 for Denmark.
Wow.
4 for China last end, 4 for Denmark here, and they'll go up 2 points. Just close the whole way down.
Yeah, once they're off and on it, you knew it was going to be very close and easily saves the shooter. So that dangerous game China was playing, ignoring those yellow stones in the wings, has cost them a couple of points here. Great shot.
Og så køller den her ikke så meget spil. Rigtig godt. Så det var bare super dejligt at se det bekræftet.
Worth a hug.
And Denmark will go up 6-4 after 4.
Virkelig godt spil. Det er virkelig de der brug for dem derude. Ja, den er 8-3. Okay. Det er måske derfor, den ikke. You're like all serious and stuff.
And the hug. They put the hug in there.
On a great shot by Denmark here in our feature game. A couple of 4 scores here in the last couple of ends between these two teams, and Denmark now takes the lead again by a score of 6-4. Playing 5.
Yeah, you don't often see back-to-back 4-enders.
No, you really don't. You don't really like to take a 4 and give a 4 either.
No, one team is definitely feeling better than the other right now, I can tell you. The most recent 4 will feel pretty happy. That's a good lesson in, when your head leaving opponents don't just hang around the rings. It's a dangerous game when your head on the scoreboard. If you're down, that's different because you need to take a risk, but 2 up could easily have just hit those yellows earlier in the end. But try to bounce back here, get at least 2 back here in the 5th. This looks like a copy of end number 3.
Yeah.
Corner guard, a high center.
Chance here for China to hit and roll behind the guard, the corner guard, I should say.
Good looking shot here.
They won't quite get it underneath the guard. Fully open for Denmark. Denmark will roll to the outside. Gives China now an opportunity to use their corner guard.
Just by that center guard, by an inch or 2, and still will get completely buried. Really well done.
Nice shot as we take a look next door, Sweden, Estonia, and Anna Hasselberg just flashed, just feathered the red one at the top right hand that you see and trying to eliminate that yellow Estonia stone. Now this leaves a draw for 2 for Estonia. Skip Marie Turman. Sweeper's not really wanting to. Now they're on it. Anna takes that back, and it'll only be a single for Estonia. Sweden up 1 will have the hammer going into the 5th end.
No lack of stones in play on sheet A this morning. Wow.
Yeah, every end has been full of rocks. And over on sheet D, Scotland, Germany. Scotland up 1. Germany with last stone here. Not sure what's going on here, Mike.
It's like some sort of run back for Daniela Jentsch. Trying to go directly under a yellow, I believe. That'll be steal of 2 for Scotland. They'll go up 5-2 after 4. Big trouble there for Team Germany.
And another update on sheet C, United States, Korea, US with a 3-1 lead. Facing 2 here, it looks like, Mike.
Yeah, Tabitha Peterson, looks like a wide in-turn tap playing.
Sweeping to try to make this curl to try to get more to the inside. That'll be a steal of 2 for Korea and tie game after 4.
2 teams looking for a win and share of mistakes on sheet C. So you see that come around attempt coming up light for Team China. Now on thirds first stones. Going to chase after this one that's buried, see if they can roll in front of the stone at the back forefoot. This is not easy. Could go either turn at it actually if they wanted.
Got to get this by the guard. And they won't. Just split them off, so Denmark try to throw a guard. Not easy in this.
You have to be precise how deep you want the guard. You know, really pick an exact spot and then take the appropriate ice. The higher the guard, the less ice you'd need. So Matilda Halsa needs to match the weight and the line. Guard a good piece of that stone at the top forefoot. Not seen many rocks under curl yet today, Jill, so this should finish nicely. Want to get it just across the center line. Decent effort. Another foot or 2 of weight would have covered that perfectly.
Perfect. Sweepers on this one right away.
They go to get by.
And they'll rub again.
And the problem is they didn't really remove the guard either, so they moved that guard to the left a little, taking away the outturn path. So big trouble now for China. It's the only saving grace. They could go through that port on the left to shot stone, and they've got a shot on the stone on the right as well. So DuPont can't take away both.
Altså, hvis det er, ikke? Jo. Sådan. Ja. Så lige den heroverfra. Ja, det er fint. Men også når den skal helt herhen.
So if they throw it there, you're going to see China come through the port and hit that stone at the back of the forefoot and try to roll buried. Just because of that, I think I would try to come in, Jill, and maybe get in top 8 foot somewhere. You could tap it up. Or good look at it from the hack. Good to be yellow.
Yes.
Vent lidt. 3. Okay, Lina. 3. Lina. Den er et kæmpe sving, piger. I skal nok
It's not heavy, and it's already tight line. That's why they're woeing. They just want it to stop now because this is really, really overcurling. Just not enough weight either.
helt overdrevet. Altså, den køler helt overdrevet i forhold til, hvor mange gange jeg flåede den.
I'm going to say both shots still available here for China.
11秒，那肯定他这块反正有选择。然后得
头不够的话可以旋打。
OK， 11秒，接着点。OK， 好。这个好，好。
多大力量
11秒。11秒。
OK。
11秒。就正常的11秒的力量就行。OK。
Just playing a lightweight tap on that yellow stone in the forefoot.
This looks tricky from this overhead angle, but from the hack it looks a little more manageable.
Yeah, it's framed up nicely for the thrower here.
Gotta get it by. Both of them.
Oh boy, that is disaster in the sense that it's blocked both paths in there now. There's no way to get to the button for China except to tap that red stone that they just threw. If DuPont can get her rock into that area where the broom is, it could be a big steal coming up for Denmark. Anything on that path up the center line is going to be a good result for Denmark.
Last stone for Denmark. Here in the 5th end.
Here's a look at that path up the center line to that shot stone.
Yeah, she threw this one, I think, a little better too, but you can see it moving over there and them trying to sweep it a little bit. Just gets by. And still really curls off that line, eh?
Okay, it curl.
She can't believe how much it moved.
Altså, den er lige ved at snitte den guard der, og den kører hele.
Yeah, she's saying on the outside, they just got by the outside guard and still practically overcurled.
Your Danish is improving, Jill. That's good. Well, this is an extremely difficult shot here now for Hanyu. She's going to play, looks like back 8, back 12-foot weight and try to follow the same path through the port and just rub off that stone or the back one. So it's kind of an all or nothing shot here for Team China.
Not an easy stone here to throw.
And as you saw from Madeleine DuPont, they have to get very close to that yellow guard just to the right of the center line in order to make this shot.
一点点。
This is a tight spot to navigate with this beautiful curl we're seeing in the ice. Last stone, the 5th end here for Hanyu. Likely the game on the line here. Communicating will be important here on the weight.
The line's in the ballpark.
Close, yeah.
Well, they rubbed the top one. They were trying to change gears and go for the back one, but that is going to go too far. That'll be a steal of 3.
Three yellow?
Yeah, 3.
7 unanswered points here in the last 2 ends.
3 for Denmark, and they take the lead 9-4.
没事儿没事儿。你要不那个前面那站位过不来，害怕。后来行。我那两个。
Ja, det var det faktisk. Altså, jamen, jeg troede ikke, du havde noget, fordi jeg kunne ikke se den klikket før. Altså, helt...
I can.
In the wrong part. That was the problem.
You know what the most important tool is now? Because we know we need to be more precise, and that is the communication. Help each other. Especially in this end, we were very close on so many stones. It was not a good result. And I'm convinced the communication is the key here.
Are these like the...
But now no part.
하면 우리 거기서 또 치면 되면 오히려 사회 더 좋을 수도 있지.
And obviously pistol netting. So the
Yeah.
key here is stay on the gas, right? They are making a lot of shots. And this is still a tight game. Let's just keep doing what we're doing.
Look at some highlights from the first half of this game between China and Denmark. After Team Denmark took a 2-0 lead, China broke things open here with an excellent end and a free draw for 4 here from Hanyu. Sweepers off and on most of the way. No mistake. As this rock comes into the 8-foot area, this will give China a 4-2 lead after 3 ends of play. End number 4, China played a little bit of a dangerous end here, left a few yellow biters hanging around the rings, and this is a double attempt from DuPont, Danish skip. They're off and on this most of the way down. That always is a good sign. Yeah, whoa, and makes the double to score 4 right back here in end number 4. And that would give Denmark a 6-4 lead after 4 ends of play. And the 5th end, things went from bad to worse here for Team China, Jill, and really tough shot on their last stone from Hanyu.
Yeah, I think it was really close, but they waited a little bit too long to decide which one they were going to rub off. When you see here it coming into the house, it looks really, really close.
they decide too late to hit the back one, as you said, and just tick the top, and that will go too far. And what a big turnaround. 9-4 after 5.
An update. Scotland, Germany. Scotland with a 3-point lead. Germany looks like they're having to draw for a single.
Yes, that red Scottish stone at the back of the 8-foot is well buried, and Team Germany hasn't scored since the first end, so I'm sure they're trying to get rid of that dreaded hammer. It's been they've had it for 3 ends now, and the line is good, the weight is good, and Daniela Jentsch makes the draw, but will trail by 2 without the hammer.
So an update on all our games here. Sweden with a 2-1 lead over Estonia, Denmark in our feature game. 9-4 over China. United States and Korea in a tight battle. US with a 1-point lead. And just a look at our percentages here in our game. Denmark with a little bit of the edge, and hit percentage you see for China has been a little bit on the low side as we get going here in the 6th end.
At the break, Peja was speaking to his teammates about communication. I think they got caught in between there on that last rock in number 5. He said a lot of close shots, but they just were missed by not relaying information quickly enough or as precisely enough. So I'm buying what he's selling, but
I think especially on that last rock, they really needed to communicate exactly what was happening there, and you have to make a decision early on those ones, otherwise you get caught, and that's what happens. Good numbers for Lena.
Yeah, she played well in game 1 as also, so she's got a good handle on draw weight. Good start. Little double corner there for Team China, which I like.
So an update here on Sweden, Estonia. Marie Turman of Estonia just made a quadruple takeout. There were 4 red ones sort of in between at the front 12-foot there, and she just made a quadruple to sit 2 and force Sweden to a single here.
One of the simple but important shots for Anna Hasselborg. She needs the 8-foot.
That will be a single for Sweden, and they take a 3-1 lead.
Interesting now with a double opportunity on those corner guards.
Jeg tror, du har en god feeling.
Denmark with a big lead could go play the double here on the 6th stone of the end, but electing to maintain the aggressive stance.
God retning. 3. God retning. 3, 4. Linjen er bedre end før. 3. Linjen er rigtig god. 3. Helst ikke mere. Den er lidt på vej til at overkøre. Godt, Denise. Godt spillet, Denise. Okay. Godt set.
Overcurled a little.
Det er sådan, når man skipper.
磕定，
磕定
，OK，磕定，尽量磕定吧。踏板，踏板哦，12秒5，可以。
Just trying to hit this on the nose, and saw the indication. Move those yellows in behind the tee line. Certainly the one on the left back in behind the tee line somewhere.
12秒，我感觉都。
12秒2。
clean，
12秒5。
我 clean，
12秒5。
clean，
12秒2。
我等一等，嘿，我 clean， 我下线，下线。
Trying to make a curl now.
他那个球。
好球，
好球。
Pretty good result.
11秒8，场地涩了，有点磕不动了。OK。
Still a bit of work to do. That is a tricky one for Denmark to deal with.
3 muligheder. Vi vil lægge den kort der. Gå rundt der, hvilket jeg ikke er vild med. Og så har hun den der.
Ja.
Eller vi kan pile den, men der er en risiko, der sidder der.
Ja, altså jeg har ret meget af den faktisk.
Jeg ved det godt, men jo mere du har, altså hvis du rammer det, du har, sidder den lige der.
A little concerned about playing the peel on that red.
Den her. Selv hvis vi
Well,
laver et skråfrys, der er det perfekt.
Går hun rundt, så?
first
Det er okay,
factor
hvis du gør det selvfølgelig, vi
of
efter, så har vi
strategy
en.
is the scoreboard. You're winning.
4.
Ja.
No need to leave your opponent's stones in play.
Den skal ligge lige foran den gule, ikke?
Jeg kan ikke høre, hvad du siger.
Lige foran den gule.
Ja.
It looks like they're playing the guard, Jill, on that yellow on the right-hand side.
I don't think this would be my first choice. How about you, Mike?
Wouldn't even be my second choice.
Nope.
It's not in the top 3. This one, so.
På linjen, Denise. 4. Yes, du bliver nødt til det. 4. Wow.
And this, again, if it overcurls, which it looks like it's going to, you've just guarded your opponent's stone
Sorry.
with a 5-point lead. So, not great. Chance now for China to roll behind the corner guard.
And it's not like it's not like they have a rock in the forefoot or the button either. Could maybe make a case for the guard if you had one buried in there.
Again, with a 5-point lead, it's
6秒5. 力量大。
this needs to curl just to make contact. Oh dear. Looks like they're trying to sweep that right by.
行，没事没事。
滑的有点大，其实。再蹲踏板，再好好对点就行。走，就一出来就大。
Ja, så gør hun sådan der, så ryger alle 3. Okay. 4, 5.
Hvordan kommer jeg der?
I'm buying the guard this time because there really isn't an easy hit, and it's getting down to thirds last stones, but you've kind of backed yourself into a corner now for Team Denmark. Hoping China doesn't make a double and roll.
Virker langsomt. God retning. 3. Ja, bare hold den i gang. Rigtig god retning. 3. Yes, hold den i gang herude.
Keeping it out there
4
nicely.
linje, super linje. 4. Rigtig god retning. Wow. Den er også længere, den. 5,4. Ej, den er 5.
This is going to
Rigtig flot
come
spillet.
right in.
Undskyld, godt set.
Still pretty good, I think.
I think it's a decent result, actually,
啊，
yes.
这路多少？
Yeah, hard to, you can't get inside on it, so
可以。
he couldn't have placed that much better. That was a good
11秒5。
good shot there from Matilda.
啥？11秒5。OK，这儿可以。
11秒吧。
行，这边偏直一点。
Dong Jishi needs a good, she needs to hit and stay here. Put a little pressure on Denmark. Gotta go to get by. Yeah, a couple of bad misses there. Since they scored that 4-ender in the third, they really haven't made very much.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking that myself, that it's almost just keeps going downhill for them.
DuPont knows the only shot right now for China is to go around the middle, so she's gonna go there first.
Sidst, kan I huske der troede den var lidt længere end den var. Der var den kun 5. Ja, de sætter sig. Men de troede den var 7. Ja. Og det er cirka samme spor. Ja. Omkring 0,5? Ja.
I think if I was a sweeper, I'd sweep this a little early.
Hold it out there?
Yeah, hold it out there early because you just get so much curl here.
That one's gone too.
Yeah. It's a little bit light as well. I think they want to try to rub off this guard, and they won't. So that doesn't do much. And
Han Yu needs a good shot here. Needs the forefoot. It'll definitely get buried. No issue there.
Yeah, and like I said, if I was a sweeper, I'd be sweeping it a little bit early to hold it out there and try to delay the point that it curls, because it will curl.
They have to, it sounds strange to say, but those two red guards that are well off the center line, they have to miss those only by a few inches to get this buried.
A lot of lower numbers here for Han Yu today. Sweepers on it early. Trying to hold the line out there a little bit. Not heavy. Really good line. If they had a few more feet weight, they would have had a beautiful shot. More trouble here for China.
Yeah, it looks like Denise is just going to throw the, excuse me, Madeline DuPont is just going to throw a guard. Play the intern, block the bump on that stone that was just thrown. So we'd love to stop this right on that LGT.com logo, just on the M in .com would be ideal.
You see where Matilda is standing with the broom. She's got the broom right on the edge of the boards. Just, they need to keep it on that side of the sheet. So, again, I'd be sweeping this early if I was a sweeper.
See the little extra rotation? That also will help keep the rocks straighter. Wily veteran move there. Right, looking for right on the M there in the
They're actually trying to make this curl. I'm not sure that they need to. Should get there, no problem.
Great shot.
Very nice.
How do I keep it out there? I know that's what she's thinking.
Just can't believe how much it curls.
Can we borrow you a sheet, please?
There might be a port there to draw if they wanted to take it on, but it's very, very narrow. Looks like they have to play the yellow-red bump. Bump that rock that was just thrown by Denmark. Straight back onto their red, into the forefoot. Degree of difficulty fairly high on this one.
回到12
因为
秒。
得2传，他那个在30。
对，得11秒5。
一点点。啊，行，11秒5行。加油！加油！
Last stone here, the 6th end, and Hanyu needing a double tap against 3 Danish stones.
11秒8，12秒。11秒8，12秒。传那个呢？
It's running a little bit.
Line's not bad. That'll work.
好强，好强！
It's maybe not a little bit of a plan B there, but they will score a single and
这量大吗？这不大。
still down 4 points to Denmark after 6 ends.
行，可以，好强。
我觉得场地1是4了，2是掉线大了。
可以。
我觉得场地1是4了，2是掉线大了。
OK，
觉得呢？
但是。 线路 OK 啊，3就行，3行，可以等等线吗？力量小点。
Welcome back here to Winsport Arena in Calgary, Canada for the LGT World Women's Curling Championship. A feature game between China and Denmark. Denmark up 4 points. Lots of rocks in play we've seen, and lots of curl in the ice. And Denmark will have now the last stone advantage here in 7.
Yeah, a little fortunate break there for Team China. Had the weight right, and there were options, but it ended up tapping in the, as you said, the plan B stone, but it worked just fine to get 1 point and get rid of that hammer. And for Denmark now, just make sure you don't give up any steals here. And should be able to control your way in, but control's been difficult to maintain out here this morning. A lot of crazy games going on.
Yeah, including a little bit with this one between Germany and Scotland. Scotland here with last stone in 6. And already trying to make this curl, getting Jen Dodds on it. Trying to get a single here.
That is just quite heavy, actually.
Yeah,
so.
quite a bit of weight, and that's a steal of 2 for Germany. And that'll be a tie game after 6.
Yeah, Eve not happy with herself. In our feature game, double center guards thrown by China, no surprise. As Lina Knudsen tries to go around the middle, it's a good way to defend them as well. If you get one into the top 8-foot area somewhere like that.
Nej, lige præcis. Lige præcis.
It's pretty good defense for center guards.
Godt set. Du har snart ikke guldfiskelæbe nu.
I'm interested to see if Denmark does start to play some peels. Did not do so in end number 6.
Worked out okay
out
for
okay.
them, but only because of misses by their opposition.
线路 OK 啊，5、6，可以等等线。6，线够下，线路 OK 带着。6、5、6，6区可以等啊。6，身体带着点，身体下线，身体下线。6，那也下线，可以下。
Trying to make this curl now. Right into the button area would be great result for China.
Very nice.
Wonderful touch. That is buried. That will force a couple of peels here, I think.
你看这个标。
Peel. Peel. Yep. Yes.
Got that started. You see her smiling. That was not a great throw there from Denise. She knew right on release.
Ja, den sad. Så jeg råber bare, det er så pil. Det er fint. Jeg følte bare, hun kom så hurtigt ud. Godt set. Hvad? Undskyld, Denise, jeg følte bare lige det.
So Team China can play a few guards here until there's a double peel made.
2，
线路 OK，
2区之间，
它这线有点小。
2，
我
3
区了已经。
3，
这个平体积行吗？
不够，2，减速了。
不行，等。自然平。
2、3之间。
身体下点线，下点线。
These a little too close together. It's a pretty easy double peel.
OK， 这个有点大。
Same throw would be good from Denise. She gets it across the top and
Der er en halv sten imellem.
throw it the same.
Jeg tror, du bliver nødt til at gøre det den vej.
See which turn she takes. She can take the other turn.
Peel. Helt væk. Det er ikke så godt, det her.
And that one, she must have just put that one back a little bit and only get the top one.
Okay. Undskyld, Matte.
Next door on sheet A, Sweden, Estonia. Sweden with a 2-point lead. But looks like Estonia has a tap or a hit for 2.
Yeah, Estonia playing tough over there on sheet A.
这条线挺滑的，线多。啊，可以等等线，身体带着点。
Marie Turman in the hack. Intern tap for 2.
下线，下点线，下线，可以下线。来。
Anna on her first played a run back and jammed that stone. Looks pretty good.
A little bit of panic there, and they managed to get their 2 and tie that game after 6 ends.
I was going to say, Anna played the run back, saw that second Yellowstone, played yellow on yellow and left it in the ring, so that opened up the opportunity for 2. Smiles all around there from Team Estonia. Taking the Olympic champions into the last 3 ends in a tie game.
Rigtig godt forsøg. Okay.
Denmark just missing the double peel again.
Rigtig godt sat, Mathilde.
Yeah, I think China's content just to try to steal one here, keep guarding. No need to really take much more of a risk at this point.
先等一等，进线没问题。开始掉线了，小一点点，一来就行，开始掉了，掉线了，我
比上量小1。
我这出手太软了，我。OK。
Just over curling a little bit.
这出手太软了，这个。
Denmark can see an inch of that red. We'll see if they're going to call a timeout and see if it's worth chasing.
行，有难度。
So timeout on our feature sheet.
We see Heather Rogers make her way.
Den her er jo åben til at blive taget nu.
Ja, man kan nemlig lige se kanten af den. Men har vi noget?
There's the travel time. Coaches, when the timeout's at the far end of the ice, they get 30 seconds to make their way down. And we'll listen into what Heather has to say.
I do.
Yeah.
It's
like 11 seconds, wait.
Yeah, whatever. I think if you could stick it somewhere even kind of in the back edge of the forefoot here, it kind of puts pressure on them, right? You know they're going to try the draw again. They're never going to hit and roll. So I think just get it out of there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Whatever weight you like.
No, it's not 10 or 11. If we want to stick there, it's more like a hack weight. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity.
Okay, so just to use the time. If we roll out, they make the draw again, like perfect, or maybe even covered, we do need to do this, right? If it's like completely covered.
If you have to, and worst case scenario on your last, you're playing the in-off, very likely.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you can chase it, go for it.
Okay, thank you. So done.
So Heather likes chasing the stone on the. It's really hard to get it to a better spot for Team China. So that's I like the logic. If you just keep allowing China to place guards, you're going to make a better guard than the one they just threw. That's for sure. I like this call. Not easy. You can only see about a quarter.
Yep, we are seeing that nice movement, that nice curl in the ice. So. It'll actually be harder for them to not hit the guard than miss it completely.
Right. I was, and they said, you heard them say they're talking about hitting and staying. I think it's just important. First of all, hit it. That's tight. You got to go right away. So you got to keep this outside the center line in order to make contact for a point of reference. So that's now on the guard. It actually improved the angle on that in-off as well for them, so it makes it a little easier. Madeline does not throw the rock particularly hard, so that it's a much easier in-off now for that roll too. China just needs to work hard to keep this guard on the left side of the center line. That's they haven't been able to do that so far. Looks like there's an option to corner freeze on the yellow. I don't know that they need to take that much risk. Straight guard would be fine for Hanyu. Trying to keep the guard wide enough.
Needs to stop.
I think you can still play that hack waiter if you're Denmark, if you wanted to. Going to play the intern, actually. They could do either.
Yes.
The problem with the intern, if you happen to not make contact, that center guard, you're going to see China wrap another one right onto the top of the button. We've talked a little bit about this delivery of Hanyu, and the unusual part of it is just as she lets the rock go, she's actually looking down, but it's a clean release. The key for that is you need to be sliding directly at the brush, and here's a better look, looking down at her hand. And I can tell you one very, very good curler who used to do that is Wayne Madaw, who's coaching Team Hasselborg, and he always slid pretty square to the broom and had that ability to be able to look down. There's Wayne.
Yeah, he's all right at curling.
He's been all right. He's decent. 3-time world champion, of course, and
made quite a run at the Brier this year.
Yeah, pretty good for an old guy. talking to him afterwards.
Old guy with a steel leg.
Yeah, that's right. He's got well-documented break in his leg, and he's got a rod in his left shin. Here's a good-looking shot from Madeline Dupont. What a wonderful shot. That's exactly what the coach asked for. That's how you do it.
I think she said really good call. A line call by Matilda.
Yeah, just perfect weight, and you see how easy it is to access these stones that are, 3/4 buried with the amount of curl. But you have to get, the broom out. Excuse me, get the rock out to the broom. So many rocks we've seen over curl today. So.
Yeah, being tight and soft is not an option on these ice conditions.
So big pressure draw here now for China. They need to get this a little bit more buried right into the button. I think the line's okay. Just got to get there. Trying to make a curl now. Just not going to get buried. So this will be a pretty makeable shot here for 5 for Denmark. Put this game away.
That's really the first we've seen, Mike, that has actually under-curled on a draw to the middle that I can remember.
So same shot here for Madeline Dupont.
Last stone for Denmark. 7th end. They have a 9-5 lead. An opportunity to put this game away.
It's running nicely. Should be able to make this curl now.
It just comes up, and that will be a score of 5. And 14-5 will be your final score as they smile and nod, and good game.
Denmark gets on the board with a win. Here in round 4, session 4.
High-scoring game. Lots of rocks in play.
Thank you. Good game. Yeah, good game.
So with the finish of China-Denmark, Denmark taking the win, we're going to slide over a sheet to a tight battle here between reigning Olympic champions Sweden and Anna Hasselberg's squad playing against Marie Terman of Estonia. Estonia making their first appearance at the World Women's Championship. And Estonia hanging tough here with the Olympic champs.
Yeah, no kidding. It was China actually defeated Estonia yesterday, and Anna Hasselborg from Sweden defeated Carrie Anderson from Canada. So both teams getting their first wins yesterday, but as you mentioned, maybe a bit of a upset brewing here, although Sweden still is tied with the Hammers. They're in good shape. Bit of work to do for Estonia to win this one.
Min var mer om man skulle ha gått direkt på den.
Ja, precis. Nej, men jag menar Agnes, jag ska ju röra inte, och jag ska ju aldrig röra den.
First skip stone here in the 7th. This tie game. Sweden having the last stone advantage here in this end.
Fris går inte, kommer aldrig dit.
Ska man väl dra då? Vad känner ni?
Ja. Och lämnar de teten eller? Nej, jag går under. Alltså de kommer röra egen men de går ju aldrig...
Det finns ingen TT här, Anna.
Vad sa du?
Det finns ingen TT här.
Jo, det kan det göra. Ja. Men jag ser inget annat. 10.
See the front end taking a look at the overhead cameras they have here on all the sheets to get a look at the angles. It's sometimes nice to be able to have that option as a sweeper and not have to go all the way down to the other end. So just playing a hit and stick here for Anna Hasselberg.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Not the numbers we're used to seeing by Anna. Usually such a strong, consistent player, and she'll want to bring those numbers up as the week goes on. Of course, we're just joining this game, and I've only been able to peek over a few times, and I have seen Anna miss a couple of times already. Just playing a hit and roll here. Hoping to somehow get a force out of Sweden. And this one's out there, so they're going to try to sweep this on the angle to make it curl. And they will remove it, but roll out, and that will mean a draw for Sweden for a potential 2 points. You hear the sigh of frustration from Marie.
Neråt sist eller? Okej.
Final stone here in the 7th end. In a tie game, Sweden looking for 2 points here.
Där går den.
Det går ganska rakt ändå, tjejer. Den kan hålla väldigt lugnt.
Kolla upp.
Sweepers liking it. Looks good.
Jag fick ingen hogg så jag hade inget att säga.
And that will be a score of 2 for Sweden to take a 5-3 lead over Estonia, heading to 8.
Mycket bra. Härligt. Ja, men upp 2 då.
Ja. Men låt mig bara sätta upp sopen och så kör vi. Bara, om det är någonting så visa ismin. För nu har vi väldigt kort om tid.
Ja. bakgräddning förra, första här. Vi ser till att bara ha bra tempo.
Welcome back to the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021, Winsport Arena in Calgary, Canada. Sweden, Estonia in a tight battle here, but Sweden just scored a big 2 points here late in the game. Now we're heading into the 8th end. Estonia with last stone advantage.
Well, as you mentioned, good performance here from Estonia. They're taking one of the favorites here into the 8th end. It's 2 hammers to 1 in a tight game. So if they could ever get 2 back here, 1 hammer apiece, a great situation.
And a little deep there on the first stone.
Natuke kitsas. Okei, kun lähedal, siis lähedal.
Estonia wanting a guard here, but the sweepers don't really like it. Needs to stop.
Perfect. A little nervous as walking down without sweeping.
And you see the numbers there with the leads. No surprise, Sofia with good numbers, always consistent.
Jättefin linje. Går nästan rakare, men det är bra linje. Kommer aldrig vara tvungen att dra den. Alltid gå rakt. Jättefin linje. Härligt. Bra Fia. Det är bra. Raga. 14-3.
So they're going to come around their corner guard already.
Yeah, they could throw another guard if they wanted. Of course, 5-rock rule in play, but such a good hitting team. You're playing against Hasselborg, who's arguably among the best hitters in the world, and it's going to be tough to score 2 with only 1 tight corner guard.
As we go to the other side of the building, an update on Sheet D, Scotland, Germany tie game, and Scotland here with last stone. Looks like a draw against a couple.
Yes, definitely needs, just needs to get full 12-foot, but
Line's good.
only 12-foot here in the 8th end. These shots are always important. Line's good.
Still really nice, guys. It's really nice, Steve.
Looks good for a single, and Scotland getting 1 in the 8th end. Germany with last stone heading to 9.
Really nice draw, mate. Go. That's good. Okay, so they're going to go hard for blank here. So uptight.
So Estonia not quite getting around the corner there, and Sweden coming down, tapping back. Estonia doesn't seem to be afraid to leave some rocks around here, Mike. We've been peeking over this whole draw, and there's been rocks in play every end.
Every end's been a mess. Nothing wrong with that. No fear against the best teams in the world. Very nice. Tell a lot of young teams that, you know, you can try to keep it close with the top teams, but what you end up doing is losing by 1 or 2 all the time rather than having a chance to win. So I like the fact they're going after Team Sweden. It's their best chance.
Good numbers for Agnes Knockenhauer out playing Kylie Grossman.
Bra. Bra satt.
Kymmenen.
Ja.
Chance to make a hit and roll over here in behind the corner guard. This looks really good. How about that roll?
What a great roll.
Excellent shot. Another inch or two would have been perfect, but that's a very good shot. Sarah McManus been asked for the run back. Double the yellows.
Close. Very
And
nice.
rolls the guard out of play. Excellent shot. Hasselborg, of course, one of these teams that has been in the bubble for a few weeks with the Grand Slam events and really struggled in the first slam. Didn't win a game, 0-4 in the round robin, which was shocking to many, but played much better in the second week. End up losing the semifinals to Carrie Anderson from Canada in a very tight game. Trying to get across the top on that one. So bumping that red frozen will really make it almost impossible for that back yellow to count.
So Sarah McManus with the edge at third.
It's funny, one of those games where all three players are out curling their opposition, yet they're in a very tight game. We've all played games like that, Jill, where you feel like, geez, we should be way ahead, and look at the scoreboard, and it's a tight battle.
Yeah, and it's just that it just means that it's coming down to certain shots being made at the right time and certain shots being missed at the wrong time.
Well, chance for a freeze. I think if you could choose, if you were Team Estonia, you would freeze to the back red stone. Lisa Turman throwing third.
So a couple sheets over, an update between USA and Korea. US with a 2-point lead, and we're in lots of trouble this end, but Tabitha Peterson made a triple on her first. And now with a shot against one, I think, for a single, maybe even a tap for two, Mike? Or that what they're playing?
Yeah, it depends on how much this curls. We got to keep this rock outside the center line for a little while, and now make it curl, maybe make the tap. What a wonderful shot that was. Wow.
Yeah, after Tabitha making a triple on her first to get them out of trouble, and US gets a big deuce and takes a 9-5 lead.
Thank you, Skip. So Anna trying not to leave a pocket there, spinning her rock out a little bit. You can lob one in there right around the tee line somewhere. It'd be a pretty good shot. Looking at a freeze. Just don't disturb those reds. Is key here for Marie Turman. Good battle at skip.
Yeah, probably. Perhaps that's the difference maker. Of course, we just joined this game an end ago.
Nagu rohkem võib-olla ette vaatama lihtsalt nagu, et kindel olla, et üle ära seda pampi oleks hea. 30. Okei, siis üles! Pigem on väga lai praegu. Kui siis Kerli? Okei.
It's a little hot. They don't, like you said, they don't want to disturb anything really at the back here.
Yeah, that won't be good enough to avoid Hasselborg removing that from play. Try to hit that. Just need to pick a spot to hit it. Throw the same shot they just threw. Hit it on the high side. Makes sense. I don't think they could remove two of their reds and roll out, so the force is definitely in the mix here. So if he'll wait, just try to remove the yellow. She tried to get rid of all the reds. Did manage to leave two in play, so the force is still in the mix. There's a rock level view. Nice shot there from our camera crew. So draw for one.
Final stone here in the 8th end for Estonia's Marie Turman. And that will be one yellow. And Estonia is still trailing by a single. So Sweden up one with last stone advantage heading into the 9th end.
Jag tänkte snarare att precis, vi var ju, ja precis, exakt. Och vi kom nästan samma. Ja, precis.
Welcome back here to the LGT World Women's Curling Championship as we head into the 9th end here of Estonia, Sweden. Sweden with a 1-point lead and last stone in 9.
Good start. Center guard.
Jättefin linje. Känns bra. Jättefin linje. Testar. Okej. Känns 4 snart. Den skär nästan den går lite pickigare. Ja, den är 10. Okej. Det ser ut att ha broms. Agnes Sten.
Sophia Mubbergs with a nice come around attempt here. Key to these is keeping them in front of the tee line. Like that. Dead buried. Excellent shot.
Perfect.
sist.
Eesvalgen, hea, põrgatel tohi üles, kui punane üles.
Esinine.
Valge.
Eesvalge.
Hetkel väga lai.
Eesvalge.
Kerli.
Eesvalge, esinine.
Kerli.
Esinine.
Kerli. Kerli. Ainult Kerli. Ainult Kerli.
Põrgat ei tohi. Okei.
Just rolls off a
Ja. Jag tänker
A
också.
touch.
Samma.
Could hit it as well.
I think Sweden will go for it a little bit here, looking to score a couple of points.
Samma linje. Ha plats. 8-4.
We haven't watched a full game yet from Team Sweden, at least I haven't.
Me neither.
And
Nej, ingen död. Nej.
Sarah McManus was definitely favoring
Helt upp.
a shoulder.
Helt upp. Helt upp. Helt upp.
Yeah, hasn't been sweeping
No.
very much. Usually is taking the outside position, and the other girls are swerving around.
And
So
they're doing most of the work, the front end. So
front end always does most of the work.
true, but you know, you do like on occasion to allow the. Now, Sarah's a very good sweeper, so if, you know,
Yes.
if she got a chance to sweep on the inside, I'm sure the front end would appreciate the break. But they're clearly protecting.
Something.
Our investigation during the slams was upper body injury, using quotation marks to use some hockey vernacular, but definitely favoring some of her muscles for while she sweeps. Really didn't affect her while she's throwing, I have to say.
Soon jäi korra seisma vastu.
This will give Sweden a chance to open things up now with that guard coming to rest in an area that's easy to remove.
Japp. Rent, japp, japp. Japp. Ligger bra, det är bara gå.
No trouble at all.
Härligt, Agnes. Komma här, Anna.
I think in a perfect world, Sweden would either take two or blank here in end number 9.
Bra.
Just don't want to give up a steal. That would be the main
Right.
thing for them here.
Ja, me ska pöörlema inte.
2, 3,
Pistän lai.
peab pöörama.
2.
Mõlemad.
2. 3.
Mõlemad.
3. Esinine.
Suund hea, suund hea.
Scotland, Germany update. Scotland with a 1-point lead in the 9th end. Daniela Jentsch just getting ready in the hack to throw her last stone here against a couple, I think, Mike?
Yes, looks like 2. So Germany got the force in end number 8, and Scotland getting the force here in 9. So,
Ganzen 8 Fuß.
tight game here on sheet D.
Wow, das ist gut.
Just needs the 8 foot.
Genau, T-Line. Schatz, wenn sie knapp aus.
Ganzen 8 Fuß.
Von der Linie sieht er knapp aus. Härligt, Agnes. Bleib sicher dran.
And our feature game, 2 great shots there from Agnes.
Okay.
Opens things up for Sweden as Daniela Jentsch draws the button, ties things up. Scotland will have the hammer heading home.
Gut, guck schön. Schön. Ja, war jetzt nicht so mega. Pigem kiirem.
See on lai, see on lai, see on lai.
Pigem kiirem ka.
Kerli. Kerli. Okay. See on
Nice double. Excellent. Sweden just got to be careful to not have a careless throw and allow Estonia around that corner guard and end up getting forced here. So hit and stay.
Rent. Japp. 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 Rent. Rent.
To quote Coach Wayne Madodgill, if you can hit and stay or draw the 8 foot every time,
Ja, men den var hård.
you're going to be a good curler.
Den var hård.
That's if you want to be a world-class curler, that's all you need to do. It sounds easy. Hit and stay, draw the rings.
Really does make it sound easy. Unfortunately, it's not always that easy.
Especially on ice that moves this much.
Exactly.
Ton of curl. Just going to roll behind the corner. I would sweep that if I was Estonia. Get it buried. Pretty good effort. You'll see with Sarah's delivery, really no issues at all with the slide and no trouble. As good as ever.
Got to stick around here. And she will. They sounded panicked there for a second.
Well, didn't want to roll it buried. That would have been the problem. Would have left a freeze.
Väljapuolelta tehdä se on se kohta, kun natuke hängib, vaata. Nende kivit kõik hängisid 10. Nyt tõenäoliselt pöörab palju. Valmis olla, Erika? Suund! 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 Lõpuni!
Trying to keep it straight.
Suund hea! Suund lõpuni! Suund hea, okei, sorry.
Oh, they actually just missed the sweeping. They had it made. Just had to let it go a bit at the end. Heck of a try.
Är det där typ en 11 eller? Ja, 10,5 tror jag nästan alltså. Din var fan 9 va? 9,9. Ja, jag tror det var 9. Okej. Det var därför jag bara, det här är typ dubbelt så mycket som jag hade. Ja, men 11, 10, 7 typ. Ja. 11. Vad var Saras? Ja. Nej, Sara, din var 9,3. Okej. Då tror jag att det där är 10,7. Ja. Gillar ni det?
Anna Hasselborg definitely wants to stay on this one.
On this one a little early, but looks good. Line looks good. Trying to roll it away from this corner guard.
Just curls sideways in there. What a shot. Looks like there's enough room to get buried here. This rock can follow the same path that Anna Hasselborg took on her previous stone. Have to make sure you get by here though for Turman.
On it early. Sweeping to keep it straight. Gotta get it by this guard.
Don't think so.
And it will not.
Just pointed that a little bit at the broom and unforced error.
Yeah, big miss there for Marie. You see the frustration and leaves an open draw for 2 for Sweden.
Ja. Samma fart va? Ja. Placera den.
Final stone here in the 9th end for Anna Hasselborg. Team Sweden.
Försiktigt då. Kvala nu.
As we see the stopwatch on your bottom right hand. It's been, I think, about 14 and a half.
13-6. That'll go deep, but it should
It'll
stop.
be fine, yes. And that is a score of 2 and a 7-4 lead now for Sweden heading into the final end against Estonia.
Sorry. Fan vad mycket tid vi har nu så här. Och en paj. Det är gött. 3 upp då. Men gud, jag kollar på GT. Va? Har du? Nej, 10. Hörrni, 3 upp.
Ja. 2 in.
Ja, eller om vi ska ticka på din. Fråga om coachen gillar ticken. Lite tajtare om jag vill.
Bra fart.
Bra linje nu.
Bra rull i sig.
Bra linje, jättefin linje.
Welcome back to the LGT World Women's Curling Championship, Winsport Arena in Calgary, Canada. The final end here between Sweden and Estonia. Estonia's held their ground for the majority of this game, but just the last couple of ends and giving up a couple of deuces. And Sweden has control here, but if Estonia can put some guards up and get some rocks in play, you never know.
I would say the final regulation end. It could, I'm sure Estonia would love to get to a chance to score 3 here to tie things up, but it's going to be a tall request against this excellent hitting team from Sweden.
And we have a second final of our morning session here in USA with Tabitha Peterson with a steal in 9 over Korea to take an 11-5 win.
Both of those teams needed a win. It'll be USA who will leave happy.
See them playing this wide tick on the corner guard, which is typically a mixed doubles shot, but we're seeing it a lot more in the 4-person game.
Well, it's a great defense, especially when you're 3 up. Now, Estonia is going to need a clear miss from Sweden in order to have a chance to score 3. So that was an excellent shot by Sweden, chipping that rock into the rings. The right play now, and again, this is Estonia just a little bit inexperienced. The right play now is to actually throw the guard on that yellow stone in the 8-foot, so Sweden couldn't hit. But with that rock coming into the rings, shouldn't make a big difference at this stage.
Kan vi bara chappa då?
Ja.
Eller? Är det dumt?
Vilka dit?
Gillar ni det?
Spela en 10.
Ja. Fin fart!
Rent.
Säker!
Rent!
Säker!
Rent! Håll ner sopen! Ja!
Säker!
Ja!
Säker!
Yeah, just a question now for Team Sweden to start eliminating yellow stones. Then we start counting them behind the back line. That's 1. They need 5 more behind the back line in order to win this one.
Skitsamma, skitsamma.
Kolm. 2 oleks parem. 2.
Lai.
Rep. 2. 2. Suund her. Sinä. Natuke kiirossa. Okei, se tuntuu mulle her. Okei. Ja sen spyr något gula jopa. Okej. Okej. Här Isa.
Du behöver inte övergöra den, men du kan spela den på ditt raka, härliga sätt.
Straight peel here for Agnes Knockenhauer.
Rent.
So good at these upweight shots, Agnes is.
Mycket bra. Bra Agnes. Bra Agnes.
Härligt.
Där är 7-0 Anna.
Ja. Kolgen.
I said, as unlikely as it is for Estonia to pull this one out, they have to be happy with the way they've played here today. Certainly a much better performance than their first effort against Team China yesterday. And the great news for Estonia, by the virtue of them being in this event, there is obviously a secondary Olympic qualifying event that they are now eligible to play in the fall. If they are unable to manage a spot in the top 6, which is a tall order in this field. You've got 7 or 8 really world-class teams that could possibly win this event. And if you don't bring your best, it could be a long week. This is certainly one of the favorites. Team Sweden. Anna still looking for her first World Championship.
She's got everything else under her belt. Trying to bring this frozen. It'll just come up light, a little bit light.
Can't really jam that on the back red.
Den finns ju, det är svårt att sticka här. Vi behöver inte, alltså vi kan ju bara klippa en i taget så är det lugnt.
Just got to hit that yellow on the center line, anywhere on the right side.
Om vi jammar den, så om vi bara klipper en i taget. Det enda skulle vara om de gör den, då får vi klippa den och så får jag sätta den.
And over on sheet D, Scotland, Germany in a tie game. Scotland with Glasstone here as Eve Muirhead gets ready in the hack.
Interesting Eve throwing the out turn here. This is just going to throw a peel. Doesn't need to stay, obviously. Right down the center line.
Stone just needs to make it go away. She does like and prefer her out turn, I think, Mike. So, and that will be a win for Scotland over Germany.
And on our feature sheet, Sarah McManus makes the double. So we're down to the final 3 stones now for Estonia, needing 3 to tie. A little light, definitely curling onto the top.
So Anna Hasselberg will head down. Just needs to make this disappear.
I like your chances.
I do too. Hasselberg just removing this stone, and
Thank you. Good game.
that will be the end. And that'll be a win for Sweden over Estonia.
Det sjuka är att de får, den där fick ju till och med lite kast, så det är beslutet.
Nej,
Alltså inte för att det var något, men jag bara den...
Jag sa tack för
Oj, jag sa inte till de andra där nere. De gick va? Ja.
Bra, härligt. Bra.
Härligt, bra Gatena.
Härligt. Grymt pick.
Bra, härligt, bra Anna.
Härligt, bra.
För att de skulle hämta dem där, då fattar jag. Ja, de är ju där ja. Precis, deras camp är ju här ja.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you, good game. Thank you.
Testing, testing.
So highlights from our feature game between China and Denmark. And in this sixth end, China in some trouble as Han Yu tries to make a double tap.
Yeah, look and hit this somewhere near the nose, straight back onto their stone at the top of the 12-foot. This is a little bit of creative work here from Team China. That was not the called shot, but did the trick.
And they'll take it. And then we head to seventh end. And again, China in trouble. Denmark, though, with last stone.
Yeah, this was a all in here for Team China, and Madeline Dupont on her first made a beautiful tap weight shot on a stone on the button. This one was a little bit easier than the one she played on her first. And it's well out there, but watch the big curl at the end. Just turned sideways and goes in, perfect weight, and that would be for 5, and that would wrap things up with a big 14-5 victory for Denmark, moving them to 1-1.
And here's all the final scores from session 4, day 2 at the LGT World Women's. Sweden with a 7-4 win over Estonia, and as we just showed you in our feature game, Denmark over China. United States with a big win over Korea, and Scotland with a last stone victory over Germany. And so here are your updated standings. Scotland 1 game ahead and 3-0. RCF, Switzerland, Sweden all at 2-0. And there's a group there at 1-1, teams that we will see later today. And Estonia, Italy, Korea still looking for their first win.
Okay. Here we skip Madeline Dupont. And Madeline, after giving up 4 in the third end, your team seemed to wake up and came back strong afterwards.
It was early. It was an early game, so it did take us a while. Actually, do think that we had a really good start to the game, but that 4, it just doesn't look that great on the scoreboard. It didn't feel as bad as it looked, so I'm just really happy that we didn't let it drag us down and just kind of kept going.
Well, and after that, a noticeable difference in the team. I thought you played very well this game, certainly compared to day 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened yesterday. I had lots of trouble with the ice and with the rocks, and I just I think I did a pretty good job on just resetting and just making it a new day and a new competition almost, because you don't want to have one bad game affect you for so long. So I think we just reset and just played the way we could.
Well, you did a good job. Congratulations on the win, and good luck the rest of the week.
Oh, thank you.
And great interview there by Madeline, and thanks for tuning in, and please join us again for the rest of the games here from the LGT World Women's Curling Championship in Calgary, Alberta.